What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're out and about today. I decided to take a trip up to Salem, New Hampshire and hang out at Canobie Lake Park by myself for the first time ever, really, honestly. I mean, I've been here probably a gajillion times. I mean, it was a staple growing up. Like, to the point where one day me and my buddy were bored and we're like, well, Canobie Lake opens in about 2 or 3 hours. How much money you got? And we rode our bikes from Melrose, Massachusetts to Salem, New Hampshire. You can look at the maps and see how long that was. It took us 3 hours. Up 93 on a bike and 2 stadies stopping us. But we would come here all the time, and though it has changed over the years, this is pretty much one of the constants. This and a few of the rides, of course, but this has been here since the park opened, and God, I couldn't even tell you how long it's been open for. 18th to 19th to 20th to 100th century, all those stuff. So all the numbers that tell you when things happen. Apparently this used to be a trolley park. Used to be a trolley park, and it was real popular to lay out like a really nice scenic thing with some amusement, some attractions, maybe something like this. This is newer to the park. It's only been here a couple of years, but and you know, it just kept expanding over the time, and now it's just your typical amusement park. Now, a lot of people around here like to go to Six Flags and everything. I prefer to come here. It's quaint. It doesn't feel as corporate-y, even though a big company owns it now. And it's close by. It's 45 minutes away. I drive right up 93 from where I live, and it's cool. I've never been here by myself before, so I figured, you know what, I've been going through the things, the stuffs. I said, you know what, I'm going to try to do something to make myself feel like a normal person. I'm going to go up to Canobie Lake for a day, so I pick a Monday early in the season, thinking it's not going to be that bad. But apparently every school on the universe, not just the state, not just the area, not just the country, not just the planet, but every child that has ever existed at any time period in any existence is here on a field trip. So as I walked in, the lady says, I hope you know it's going to be extra long wait for all the rides. I'm okay with that. I can't use this gimbal on the rides anyway. I'm going to try to on a few, but I've already been on the Yankee Cannonball, which is the staple here, the big wooden roller coaster. I'm not going to be able to take too many videos. Maybe in the Mine of Lost Souls, which I want to talk about quite a bit today, because I'm actually going to discover the history of the haunted attractions here at Canobie Lake Park, as well as highlight some of the, you know, some of the rad stuff that goes on around here, some of the staples. Right here, I mean, look at this. That's the scariest ride in the park. I can't stand those. I don't know how anybody would get on something like that. I know they're safe, but they don't look at one little L-shaped bar holding you onto a cable, and you go over these wheels and it's like bumpity bump, nothing holding you in. And all I can think about the whole time is falling down to my death on the ground. Okay, let's walk around. I'll point out a few things. I'll show you the stuffs. Can't get on them with this thing. I'll try to sneak whatever I can in. But hopefully we'll have a good time. Hopefully we'll have a good time and I'm able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I feel like a fucking human being for once. Just to the left of that skateboard is this weirdo thing called the Caterpillar. This thing's been here forever. And it's funny when someone from out of town rides this ride, they're like, I don't get it. And there's really not much to get, really. You're just in a car that's painted like a caterpillar, and you go around and around and around, and then the canopy comes over. I think it used to be an old dating thing from the 60s. You know, my dad used to freak out when my sister would go on it in the early 80s, you know, because he thinks she'd be making out with her boyfriend or whatever in it. But it's literally just that. I mean, you got to conceptualize what you're supposed to be doing. You're a caterpillar, you go in your cocoon, when you come out you're supposed to be a butterfly. I don't know, but I notice whenever people talk about the ride, they're so confused by it. And there's really nothing to be confused by. It's not really all that complicated. And I suppose that says a lot to how things have changed over the years, you know? I mean, it's the simplest little idea. You just go round and round, up and down, round and round, up and down. Thing covers you for a little bit. It's a little bit of a thrill, if that at all. And that's it. You get nauseous. When you get off, you get on the next thing that makes you nauseous. If I only had a dame. You remember that early internet video? Please tell me someone else knows that video. Hopefully none of this music is copywritten. So here we have Da Vinci's Dream, at least is what it used to be called. Another ride that I'm terrified of and probably will never go back on ever again. It not only raises up, but it tilts as it spins around. And I gotta say to myself, how the hell can that hold a human being? I'm not a fat bastard, so I can't trust this thing as far as I can throw it. But first it lifts you up, it spins, and then it tilts. I don't know if you can see it tilting there. And you're held on by a couple of chains. Now I know those chains are rated for however many pounds, and there's probably a lot of redundancy safety things, but nope, not for me. So this is the lake in which the park is actually named after, Canobie Lake. There's not really much to say about it other than it's a lake. That barge out there, that's where they shoot off the fireworks on the weekends. Just before the park closes. There is a ferry boat that will go around. I have no idea where that is, but you also have these not so ferry boats that'll take you around. There's even a backup over there. But there's one of those boats with the big paddle things. I don't even know if that belongs to the park or not. So there you go. That's why it's called Canobie Lake, I suppose. I don't know what else to say. It's a lake. It's named Canobie, and there's a park. This is kind of like the, I don't know, Revolutionary Days of Boston section, even though we're in Salem, New Hampshire. I've always wanted to get the blueprints of this building here. Scale it up maybe one more window wide and actually build a house that looks just like it. Now behind that, this is a ride that I got to watch being built over time. It's another great example of how things change. But it's just called the Boston Tea Party. It's basically just a big flume boat that goes up, around, comes down this tunnel, hits the water, and splashes the Jesus out of everything. All the way over here, and all the way over here. You used to be able to stand on this deck right here and get soaked. And the water would get you with such a force that it probably knocked enough people out. I'm serious. You would have to hold on to the thing. And it was actually encouraged to do that after you got off the boat. Oh, we got one coming down, so we'll watch it. We'll watch it. And you can see how big the spray is. But apparently you can't do that anymore because enough people got hurt. I don't know. You know, obligatory gift shop. This is actually a restaurant. So let's watch these guys come down. Here they come. Pray to God I don't get wet. I don't know how people are going on this thing this early in the year. Whammo! Hopefully you saw that. I wasn't watching the camera, I was watching the water. But yeah, the water would come in and smash all over that. So I just said we were going to talk about some dark rides / haunted attraction stuff, but I wasn't necessarily going to talk too much about actual Screamfest. But I mean, since we're going to be talking about it, I might as well. In October, they open up a whole bunch of haunted attractions for people to enjoy. These are two of them. This actually used to be more of a hotel theme, which was way better. Now it's considered like an asylum of sorts. What's more important about this is if you're a fan of the Atari Creep channel, my other channel, there are arcade machines in here and pinball machines and like a fire truck machine that actually had the wheel and the physical fire truck. You know, basically video / mechanical games that are being used as props in here because I don't know if they just don't want to repair them anymore. And I talked to one of the main guys here about just before pandemic, and I was supposed to be able to get in there to film it because I did a 2-part video, I was trying to anyway, on the arcades of my past here, but never got back to me after saying, yeah, let me know when you'll be up here and we'll make it happen. But here we have one of the most infamous rides here at Canobie Lake Park. It's called the Turkish Twist. Picture yourself standing in a washing machine barrel. It spins wicked fast, sticking you to the wall, and then the floor drops out and you're stuck to the wall. And then the floor comes back up and you get off. There was a time where me and my buddy, right, hardly anyone used to go on this thing. I don't know if they were just scared or it made them sick or what. But like nobody was getting on it. We just kept getting off and going right back up. Getting off and getting, the guys like, just stay on until I tell you you have to get off. Ain't nobody else coming on but you guys. I think we did it like 20 something times in a row. It's a pretty insane and intense ride. I'm gonna go up there and try to take video. But there's a lot of little kids here, and I'm not really in the mood to film kids needlessly, but we'll see what we can get.
Enjoy your ride.
So, every warning before getting started: high blood pressure, pregnancy, medication. If you just ate, if you're a human being, don't ride the ride. Bye-bye, Flora. So this thing here is called the Tattoo Barn, and it's not really all that important to talk about, really all that much, except for when we were young here, it was like a little makeshift recording studio. It was more karaoke than anything. You'd get in there, you get in this little booth, you'd feel like a rock star with your head cans on, and the song would come on and you'd sing it, and they recorded it on a cassette for you. I don't know if they ever went to CDs or not, and I know it was never on vinyl, but they'd record a little cassette for you. You could do 1 to, I think, 4 songs. I can't remember. Anyone who remembers, let me know down in the comments below. But it was actually pretty cool. You go in there, you sing your song, and a few minutes later they give you a little cassette with your name and everything on it. And I mean, it was a printed label, but we'll get fun times. I mean, I guess now you can go get fake inked. I don't know, I think tattoos are for idiots. This big lot kind of makes me sad. There used to be a roller coaster here called the Corkscrew. It was the first inversion roller coaster here on the park. There actually used to be another like little mousy coaster over there somewhere. And I can't remember, I can never remember the name of it. Somebody in the comments of some video refreshed my memory, but I can't remember now. At some point, I guess, I don't know why that's important, but what is important is me and my buddy Gerald, that same kid that I rode my bike up here with, we used to come up here at least once a week to watch them build this thing with the anticipation, the excitement of finally a real cool roller coaster. Not that the Yankee Cannonball wasn't cool, but it didn't go upside down, didn't do all the cool things. But for whatever reason, and I haven't even found out, they got rid of the damn thing. I don't know. It was awesome. I mean, it was short. I mean, you would just go around, go up, come down, and then there would be 2 corkscrews right here, and then you'd come right back to the station. And the station was elevated up, so you basically just literally came out and went down. Now, there are talks of another roller coaster coming to town, a bigger one. I don't know if it'll be here, but let's hope it's at least as cool, if not cooler, than the Corkscrew used to be. Rest in peace, Corkscrew. Cocks. Roosters. Poultry. This simple pirate ship ride. I don't know what it is about it, but a lot of people I go with, this is the one that they avoid. Like, I have a brother who's like this huge tough guy, like legit tough guy. And trying to get him on here is like trying to pull a tooth out of a shark's snapping mouth. It's it just goes back and forth. This is my next stop. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. But quite honestly, one of the most important attractions in the whole park is right next door, the restroom. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Anybody want to play some games? So we're in, I guess, what you would consider, I guess, the Wild West section of the park. The park's really not all that big. But here we are, the Mine of Lost Souls. Another ride a buddy of mine and I were crazy excited for when it came up. Because when we were growing up, there wasn't any dock rides. There were no haunted attractions or anything like that. Those were before our time. In fact, we could still see some of the remnants. And we'll check out some of those spots later, because there was something there called the Swamp. I got this really rad picture of it. When we first saw it, it was called the Haunted Mine, and that's it. It was just called the Haunted Mine. And then eventually it became the Mine of Lost Souls. Again, hopefully I'm inputting pictures of what it looked like over time. And not too much has really changed. I mean, the inside obviously has over time. And there's a lot of things in here that I see, like, say, Carpetbagger came by and a couple of other people came by that aren't from the area, and they don't understand how local haunted attractions work. Like, there's this one area where it's like a pharaoh section. And everyone's like, what the hell? That was actually really common back in the day for haunted attractions to literally skip from scene to scene, location to location, idea to idea. And it was almost a miss if you didn't have certain things like the Pharaoh's Curse or something like that within your haunted attraction, regardless if it was a house, a mine, a ship, whatever the case may be. It was just one of the things locally, I guess, we just did as far as haunted attractions are concerned. But we're going to go inside. I'm going to try to take video. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to film in there. The guy saw the, you know, the gimbal and everything, the little handheld thing from my phone, and was just like, "Yeah, you can't film in there, buddy." I'm thinking to myself, how does everyone else get any footage? So I'm either going to try to use someone else's footage and give them credit for it and ask them, of course, or I'll just refer you to a link down below. I just won't be able to comment on what's going on the inside. That's all. The obligatory log ride, or as we call it here, the flume. We will obviously not be going on this ride because, again, I don't feel like being wet today. It ain't warm enough for that kind of nonsense. Although, I didn't wear any sunscreen either, and my face I'm seeing in the camera is crazy red already. Here we go, here we go. Whammo! It's probably the second most terrifying. So number one is that stupid little sky ride going across the park, you know, a scenic thing. Then there's this. And then there's the Da Vinci's curse, as I call it, the Da Vinci's ride or whatever. Man, my girls love going on this thing, and once in a while I'll do it because I have to convince one of them to use the roller coasters, so I will go on this if they do that, you know, that kind of a thing. But when we get up there and the thing feels like it's swaying and everything, God, I am so terrified. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's obviously the height of it, but if it were enclosed, it might be a whole different story. But then again, when I'm at Disney, I'm on the Skyliner, I'm still terrified. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a scaredy little biatch. Yeah, that's a whole lot of nope for me. Alright, so check this out. Standing on the spot, it used to be a ride, literally just like it, called the Matterhorn. This thing is 10 times slower than that thing will ever be. And I'm telling you, they ran the Matterhorn as fast as they could, if not even faster. You could almost get the cars to go completely over. And they ran that thing to the ground for years and years and years. And then they finally put this thing in because the other one, it broke down to the point where they just couldn't repair it anymore. It was never unsafe, don't get me wrong there. And it was a staple, the obligatory bumper cars, and it still kind of has that 50s, 60s vibe to it. It's pretty rad. And it's pretty cool to still see some of the old school carnival rides here. They call this one Zero Gravity. I can't remember, I think we called it the Roundup locally, but I guess it's called Zero Gravity. Or maybe they changed the name or something. So if you look at this arcade, look at the facade of it. This strip here, parts of it, actually used to be a dark ride. It used to be a haunted attraction. And there was one right here that used to be called the Swamp. And it had this big green creature up here. I never got to experience it because it was before my time, but I hear it was actually your typical dark ride, you know, some scary, some goofy, but overall it was fun. From what my brothers tell me, they were much older than I am. I want to say it was right here. It could have been over here, but there were a couple here even before that, I believe, or after it. I'm going to look into that and put the information down below, or maybe I'll put it up on the screen, but either way, it used to be here. There used to be a big swamp monster on the top, and it was friggin' rad. Crazy cups. Whee! So this is the Yankee Cannonball, like the main attraction here. It's a wooden coaster. It's been here for a gajillion years. It's been under a couple of different constructions because of hurricanes and all kinds of stuff. I rushed onto this thing as soon as I got here. They're not supposed to be in there, it says so. Either that's why they're trapped in there. It's like they're forever jail. Look at all this. Can you even see the crap on them? That's terrifying. It's not Halloween yet. The Star Blaster. I was surprised to see this here when I moved back from Arizona to Boston. It's just your typical, it's going to launch you up here and bounce you down a few times, and if you're lucky, your seat will stay together and you won't go flying off into this outer space. I call this ride the Boing Boing Boing, but it's really called the Wave Blaster, something like that. It basically just spins and it bounces you up and down, up and down. I just got off of it, as a matter of fact. But it basically just goes around in a circle and goes up and down, up and down. There's a couple of sweet spots where it actually lifts you as high up as it'll go forcefully, and then it slams you real hard to the ground. And you get a couple of really good bounces. It's actually really fun, though. It's really, really short. You do get to go backwards though, so that's a thing. There's somebody actually stuck on it. That stupid restraint won't come back up, that poor kid. So this is where you go to have a butt. I quit 5 years ago last month, so I think I'll pass. So in love with the idea of a Frisbee ride, going back to the roller coaster tycoon days. But unfortunately, this thing's hardly ever open. It's not open now. They probably got some safety stuff to do. The park literally just opened. But I remember when I first moved back, I saw they had one of these. I was so excited. I was so excited. But it was closed for a couple of seasons because they were waiting for one part from some country, God knows where, that makes these things. I don't know who makes these rides, but yeah, they were looking for a part, and it just took forever for them to get it, and they couldn't run it for a couple of seasons. And I've been able to get on it like twice, and it's fun, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth the risk. So I try to get food. I'm back in the Wild West section, over where the mine of Lost Souls is. And there's a little sausage / barbecue joint over there that has some really cool brisket. A little overpriced, of course, but I was hoping they would be open. But I mean, it's the first couple of weeks of this place opening for the season. I can't expect everything to be ready to rock and roll. So I ended up going on the other side of the haunted mine and just getting some, chicken fingers and waffle fries. We got a little bit of barbecue and some ketchup, a 32-ounce Diet Coke, or Diet Pepsi rather. Better than Coke. I hate Coke. There's not really much else to say other than this is 20 bucks. And I'm about to put it in my face hole. Okay, he's a happy little guy. You know why he's so happy? It says shirts and shoes are required. But it says nothing about pants. It's actually the go-kart track. Not a very popular ride. It's very slow. But it's very scenic. I think there's a car out there somewhere. I don't know. There's people. There we go. There's a car. There's a vroom vroom or a putt putt. And you know what? They're actually pretty cool. They're the old fiberglass bodies from the 60s. Pretty rad stuff. I'd love to have one of those. That body style right there. So here we are at Untamed at the far end of the park. The one coaster I can't go on. It's honestly got something to do with my shoulder type. It's one of those rides that won't work if the restraints don't close. And at first everyone thought it was my gut. But there are people with bigger guts than me that get on this thing no problem. And I have been able to ride it once. But there's just something about my shoulder type. And that's what one of the managers had told me. Because I told her, I said, I don't want to be unsafe, but I've been able to get on it. And look at that guy's a fat bastard, bigger than me, and he got on. And they explained to me that it's got something to do with wide shoulders just don't get to ride this ride. I don't know. Maybe the universe just hates me. But either way, it was fun. That one time I got to ride it. Fairly newer ride to the park in relationship to how long I've been coming here anyway. This opened at some point when I was still in Arizona. But really fun, short, really intense, good times. Now this type of room is mainly for my other channel, but there's too much, how should I say, licensed music being bumped in there for me to go in there. I got a copyright strike the last time I made a video. So that's all we're gonna do. You can look through the windows and look at the games. Hey look, there's a Super Mario Brother one, but it's all pinballs. There's even an acrylic one in there. I said to hell with it. Hopefully I won't get another copyright strike. Unfortunately no one's allowed to use this one, but someday I'll get my grubs on it. Someday. This one right here, admittedly, is my favorite. It may not be the best table, but as far as theming is concerned. But you don't get any better than that, right? Now this one you can play. It's supposed to be the world's largest pinball game. And it is. It's a beast. I mean, these are flippers compared to my hand, you know? Pretty big stuff. I played it once. It's a novelty at best. So now we're behind Untamed. And this used to be kind of like an outing area. I mean, if you really look, there's like tents way back there. See that little white deer there? That's for like corporate outings. My friend Gerald, his father used to bring us up here once a year with the company. We're talking about Screamfest and all that crap. Let's see if I can't. Oh, wrong way. You know, their hearses parked over here. In fact, one of them was for sale for the longest time. I don't know why they were trying to sell it or not, but back here is actually another one of the haunted attractions. Technically it's two, because you have to go through this one here and then you end up in the other one that's next to it. It used to be called the Culling, C-U-L-L-I-N-G. It was kind of like an occult vibe, kind of like, I don't know, you stumbled onto something that you shouldn't have and now you're in big trouble. That kind of thing. Like there was this one room that made you feel like you're underwater. You went into another room and there was a whole bunch of dudes with their backs towards you in a circle with robes on, and the TVs were on static. I mean, that's not part of it, but that's creepy, right? But yeah, that's the entrance right there to the Culling. The Culling. Looks like we got another ride coming in. Unless that's something they took down that I'm not recognizing. So it looks a little thinner than it normally does. I wonder if they're just not going to have this one this year. But you would go through it and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And then you would end up over here in this structure, which was kind of like a chemical zombie something or other. I don't know. That used to be one for an attraction that doesn't exist anymore. It used to be over by where the Flume is. I can't remember what that was. It was called the Village. And it was a corn maze with smoking, chainsaw-wielding idiots. That's really all it was, you know? It was supposed to be like an inbred village kind of thing, and you stumbled upon the wrong thing. I don't know. But regardless, they didn't have it last year, or the year before, I should say. I don't think we even came last year. But that was the entrance to it. So I'm surprised to see it still exists. I just wonder if they integrated it in here now, or if they're going to bring it back. I don't know. But either way, there you go. More spooky. And do it on a golf cart. That's pretty spooky, right? But no joke. What is that going to be? Same company that made the Boing Boing Boing, which, by the way, is still shut down. That poor kid was in there forever. Interesting. Okay, so this is where you would exit that second part of the Culling. We were just over there. But if you look, looks like they're putting something in there. I wonder if it's those pieces that we saw around the corner. I don't know. It looks like something that's going to be, yeah, small enough for that to be there. Something to go spinny, spinny, bouncy, bouncy. Maybe it's another bounce, bounce, bounce. And they're going to call that one the Wave Runner Part 17 and a half. I don't know. It'll be exciting to see what happens here over the next year or so. And if the slow-ass race cars were a little too crazy for you, you can get an old Model A, Model T, whatever the heck, and go even slower on a scenic route. But at least it takes you over by the Yankee Cannonball, and you get to see the people freaking out on the Sky Blaster, Star Blaster, whatever the hell it's called. Man, that's another one where my shoulders kind of screw me up. I got on it, and no lie, Zippy. That was on his name tag, Zippy. Came over, pressed his foot against the stupid restraint, and locked me in. And said, there you go, bud. You'll enjoy it, but you still won't be able to breathe or something like that. I can't remember what he said, but he got me to ride it. And it is, it's fun. You get to the top and you can see all around, then you get thrown to the ground. And then you can go back up and you can see all around again. And then, you know, it's over. And you wonder, why did I wait 2 hours in line for that? Straight up. And roller coaster guys, tell me, what is that called again? Is that like a negative straight down? What do they call that? The less than straight? Oh man. Kind of pauses up at the top there. It really is a fun ride. I enjoyed it the one time I was able to get on it. I hope my chicken fingers didn't come from one of his brothers or sisters. But then again, I really don't care either way. It was yummy. Just waited in the longest line of the park so far. Half hour, almost 45 minutes for this. Not a ride, for fatness. I stopped by the gift shop. I was going to film in there like a lot of people do at these parks, but you can go to those videos for that. You come here for the quick short edits because I'm too afraid to truly film in public. I feel like an idiot even though nobody cares. But we picked up this pin for 10 bucks. The Mine of Lost Souls. I might try to sneak a video of it. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I'm about to leave anyway. It's about 2 o'clock-ish almost. And it's just getting too crowded for me. And I've done everything I wanted to do, except for filming inside the Mine of the Lost Souls. However, if I make that my last ride of the day and they kick me out, I mean, what's the big deal? The only thing is I don't want to be put on the list and never come back. That would be my luck. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's more signs of newness. I don't know what the heck's going to go in here. But if you look at that there used to be 2 slides that would come down. 2 water slides, just randomly put here. There are 2 technical water parks. They're next to each other. There's a smaller one, I guess it's for smaller kids, and then one with a huge slide and the tubes and the wave pool and the relaxing thing where you just kind of go around on a raft or whatever, you know, a rubber raft. There used to be a couple of slides that came off of that building right there. They closed it last year. I just don't know what the hell they're going to be putting over here now. So I just tried to get some footage on the Mine of Lost Souls, and the dude just like, please don't, I don't want to kick you out, buddy. I'm like, please, even for a video? And he's like, sorry. So if I do put a video up, it's going to be somebody else's, and of course I'll credit them. But I don't know if you notice, this side of the park is cleared out completely. Not that this is a big popular section of the park. I'm going to go to the other side, because I was literally just about to leave. It is almost 2 o'clock. It is almost 2 o'clock. Got done with my ice cream. I grabbed this for the car ride, but it is a ghost town now. Literally, I mean, I'm in the ghost town section. I'm going to go to the other side with the bigger rides and see if maybe the lines have gotten smaller. Maybe not. Maybe because it's the older kids. I did hear a few groups saying, hey, the bus leaves in 20 minutes. You need to be at the front door, you know, and then the announcements over the intercom for the kids. So I was kind of hoping everyone would clear out at 2 o'clock, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So let me go on the other side. If not, we're probably just going to sign out for the day. I did what I needed to do here, aside from get footage of the Mine of Lost Souls, but we got a pin. We got a pin. So the last thing I want to talk about today is this lamp right here. The park only has, I think, 2 left. These came from the World's Fair, and I'm so glad that they've never really gotten rid of them. My mind wants to say there used to be a whole bunch, but I really don't know. I just know there are 2 here now. This one and one over by the Tea Party ride on the other side of the park. If that one's even still there. But it's nice to see that it's still here, this one. And I don't know if it still illuminates or not, but it's still here. So that's pretty much going to do it for my day here at Canobie Lake Park. There's the Yankee Cannonball right there. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to accomplish a couple of my goals. I had a personal goal, and I had a goal, of course, of filming the Haunted Mine. But, you know, I kept trying, and they kept saying, dude, please don't. Please don't. And I'm not trying to get kicked out of this place because my family and I come here all the time. And like I said, this was a staple growing up, and I come here every year at least once, if not multiple times. When I was a kid, it was like 5, 6, 7 times, you know. If it wasn't with a park group, it was with a family, you know, doing a banquet thing with their company, or just a random weekend, or me and my buddy get bored and just ride our bikes up here. That only happened once. But I won a prize. I won a prize for the missus at home. It's a little puppy. I'm going to call him Asswipe. We will name him Stains, so whenever, you know, he doesn't, it's not following instructions, we can yell, "Come, Stains!" That was vulgar. I apologize. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, I know my videos aren't quite the same as other out there and about videos. I just don't have the confidence with the camera in public that I do in person. Not that I do very well with it in my own home. But either way, I can't thank you guys enough for watching this nonsense. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well, wherever in the world you are. Until next time, take care, keep it real. You know what? I had a whole bunch of kids asking to be in the video. because I didn't want children in my video. And I say children, they're all teenagers. I should have had every one of them say, "Creep it real, dirtbag." And just had a big reel of that at the end. But either way, I hope you can creep it real, because I'm about to drive home and creep it real. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.